Sorry. Dogo kuna kitu nataka kushare. Ama naweza iandika sana. So acha ni share nini? Acha ni share one of this screen. Windows. So wacha ni share hiyo nini? Wacha ni share fanye kuiandika hapa. I want us to do it. Venye niliwaeleza jana, sasa nataka tufanye leo. Tukifuata hiyo procedure niliwaeleza jana. So question is inauliza dogo tu niandike hapa. Only 300 words. Mimi unanisikia kweli? Ama niko peke yangu? Simwani mute kidogo because I have interfered with the sound system ya audio. Ndio wengine kama mtu tu wamejoin, ni kama niko na Jackson Kasago peke yake. Hao wengine kama wamejoin tu na waka mute. Wakaanza business nyingine. Sasa hivi unasikia vizuri
Tunakusikia.
Nimenguza nini? Nimenguza hii kamera. So wacha nirudi sasa ni share let me share the nini. Wacha sasa ni share the screen. Dogo tu. So this is what I was sharing before I interfere na camera na audio. Okay, sasa hii ni swali. This is one of the questions that I use nikifunza wa maritas. So I can see nini camera imechange, but there's no problem. Let me be loud enough. So this kind of a question, ukitaka kufanya venye tulikuwa tunafanya jana. In this case you have 300 to 400 words. And you have been taught to describe the size of the business. In this case, the student selected Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So that's the business that we are describing in this case. So you are taught to describe the size of the business or a specific project, like the structures, the outlets, and the turnover. So you are describing the size of the business in terms of the turnover, the outlets that it has, and then its structure. Then you describe the geographical location, the core product of that business, and the industry in which it operates. This is just an example it's just an example. So before this kind of an assignment, kitu ya kwanza you analyze the question. Ujue inataka nini na nini. So ukipewa ile instruction brief, the first thing that you do, you analyze the question. Ndio ujue unaandika nini na nini na nini. After that unaweza plan. But ukifuata ile njia ya jana venye niliwaeleza, because there is no specific order that should be followed. As long as you have a good plan, get sources unatumia, there is no problem. For example, this one iko na 300 to 400 words. Hiyo ni kama 1 page to 1.5. Jana tulisema 1 page should have 3 sources. In this case uko na 1.5. So unafaa ukue around 5 sources hapo. 4 to 5. So kitu ya kwanza tuseme ukiplan, for example, utakuwa na introduction. Ukitoka kwa introduction you talk about the business. Now you will introduce the company because you are talking about the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. That is the business that the student is chosen in this case. So we are talking of the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. For example, assume that is now the business that we are describing in this case. So for this question, in your analysis, kitu ya kwanza utajua, I'm going to write introduction. Kitu ya pili, unaanzia ku describe the size of the business. So the size of the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So kwa hapo kwa size utaongea about the structure of the business, the number of hotels that it has, and then the turnover. Kutoka hapo utaenda kwa geographical location. Geographical location. So after that utaongea about geographical location, utaangalia where that business is located. Kama iko na subsidiaries, kama iko na other branches, pia unaanguzia where they are located. So hapo utaongea about it as customer bases in these countries, it is based in this country, kitu kaa hiyo. From there uangalie core product of the company or the business, and then mwisho uandike about the industry. From there you write conclusion. That should be the sasa kwa plan yako hiyo ndo utaandika. Number 2, in this case we have 300 to 400 words. So introduction yako iwezi kuwa 200 ama 150 words. Of course introduction yako itakuwa dogo. So like for example, kwa introduction naweza andika around 30 to 50 words. 30 to 50 words. The same case applies kwa conclusion. 30 to 50 words. Hizi zingine sasa, which is your body, zinafaa zibebe around 300, assuming that unaenda up to the maximum. The maximum in this case is 400. Assume for example we are rating 400 words. So kama introduction yako iko na 50, conclusion yako iko na 50, sasa your body inafaa ibebe all the other 300 words. After that, now uende ufanye research sasa. You get the sources now. So the next thing that you do after this is to get sources. With your introduction, I'm going to introduce the company. So you Google about the Commonwealth Bank of Australia company profile. You write PDF. Utapata sources za kuandika kwa introduction. From there, tunaenda kwa size of the company. So Google structure of Commonwealth Bank of Australia. You get sources. You Google the number of outlets of Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Mwisho weke PDF. Next to Google the Commonwealth Bank of Australia turnover rate of the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Pale mwisho unaweka PDF. You get those sources. Ukishapata sources, unaziangalia the year that they were published. If they fit your inclusion criteria, then unazitumia. The same thing, tunaenda kwa geographical location. Una Google geographical location of Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Then pale mwisho unaweka PDF. So that you can get scholarly sources. Because in this case, in every assignment that you do, make sure you avoid blogs, those other reports that are not scholarly. Make sure you avoid them kabisa vile uwezekanavyo. Sometimes unaweza tafuta upate sasa hapa nimekosa kupata kabisa. There's no PDF, there's no journal, there's no book that is talking about what I'm searching. So in that case, unaweza tumia hizo websites. But if we have journal articles, books, in short, if you have scholarly sources that cover ile kitu una search, make sure you use them. Because in many cases, utatumia website na hizo vitu zingine, then you lose marks. Ama the paper ikuwe rejected. So that's why we use journal articles, we use books. And most of the times I advise my writers to use journal articles. If it's possible, go for peer-reviewed journal articles. I think we talked about that yesterday. So what a size of the company, what a geographical location, core product of the company, and the industry. Those are like 4 sub-headings, and lazima fit kwa 300 words. So hapo utakuwa mjaja ile design uta divide your words. Common size of the company, make sure zimeingia around 50 to 70, geographical 50, core product around 50 to 80 somewhere there. The industry where the company operates 50 to 80. In a way that you love, in a way that from the size of the company to industry, they are 300 words. That's how you do the plan. So if I was doing this assignment, kitu ya kwanza sasa ningefanya, I would Google about the company. About now the company. That's what I was writing in introduction. So utakuja hapo. Let me I want to get the source. After planning, ukajua utaandika words ngapi for each section, now umeenda una search. So in this case, nimesema kitu ya kwanza, I will search about the Commonwealth Bank of Australia company profile. Hapa mwisho weka PDF. Then una search. You get several PDFs that talk about the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So you'll open this one, you'll open this, you'll open like several of them. Then after opening, utaangalia the year that they were published, whether they have the content that you are looking for. In this case, introduction inafaa ukuwe na one source because it's something short. You can have 1 or 2, but just have 1. So in this case, I will open. In this case, I will open hii sasa. Hii inaongea about Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, referred to as the Commonwealth Bank, was founded in this talks about the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Pia hii inaongea about the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. But ile kitu hapa utakuja kupata is that these two sources that you have opened, none of them is scholarly. This is neither a journal article or a book. It's just an article that has been published by stakeholders of this company, for example. So it is not scholarly. Since you cannot get scholarly sources that talk about the company, like you can't get journals or books that talk about the company after search pale, you can go ahead and use these ones. So use non-scholarly sources. Kama umekosa kabisa kupata journal articles ama books that provide the information that you are looking for. If you use these sources, for example, these ones, if I go ahead and use this one, for example, this is a blog article, it's just been converted to a PDF. In the blog, it has just been converted to PDF. So, nikiandika pale, make sure you cite it. So, pia leo, nataka nionyeshe how we cite non-scholarly source, kama kitu imepatikana kwa web. So, in this case, umepata two sources. Umepata hii moja, which was created before 2016 and has been updated recently in 2022 by March 24th. Na kuna ingine hapa, which was this one, nikwambie the year that it was published. But pia ukiangalia, it does not provide information muhimu sana tunaweza itumia pale. Pia uoni here that it was published and there's no other. So what we do, just exclude this one and we depend on this one. This one has got the information, it has been recently published, and you can see that tunaweza ona it has a title, it has here that it was published, it's on a website, and then it has the information that we are looking for. So we can depend on this one, kuandika introduction part of the paper. Sijui tuko wangapi ama mnasikia ama niko peke yangu?
Tunasikia.
Yeah. So tumepata source. We are going to use this source. I could go pia ningeenda chini kabisa huku nitafute. But what I know is that for this one, see topic investigation ama kitu inataka research. You just getting information about a company. So it is hard. Itakuwa ngumu sana kupata a journal or a book that talks about that particular company. Zile vitu mingi utapata. For example, hapa tutaenda kwa Australia company profile. Hapa tutaenda kwa profile pia. But these are, I think, these are not even PDFs. But they have the information that we need. However, they are not scholarly. Neither a journal article, it's not even a book. But since we can't get journal articles or books that provide the information that we are looking for, that's now when unaenda unatumia sasa easy websites, blogs, what we call now the gray literature, non-scholarly sources. That's when you go ahead and use them. We can also use this one. It talks about the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Wacha tuangalia the year that it was published. This is the title. Then tuone kama tunaweza ona the year that it was published and the author. Most of the times author wanakuanga huku chini ama unawapata hapa juu, hapa chini ya title hapa. Wengi utawapata hapa. The author of that article. Hapa tuangalia kama tunaweza wapata huku chini. Because hapo juu wako huku chini, of course. So for this article, you don't know the author and you don't know the year that it was written. So you can't use this one. That's not credible. So in our case, for example, ukiangalia hii pia, for this one, it has the title. Let me check whether you can get the year that it was published. You can see the author. And you can see the year that the article was published. So we can't use these as well. So tutakuja kubaki na hii moja, iko na title, iko na year that it was published, and then iko na the link that can take us directly there, and then acha tuone kama iko na order. Okay, as long as it has title and the website, I'll show you how you can cite it. Most of the times, make sure that unatumia hapa hii sijui tutaita suffix ama itaitwaje, ni either org ama education ama hizi sites zinatumia, huwa watu wanatumia post vitu za educate people about something. Most of them is a government publications. That's why we go for org. Kuna zingine za edu. Most of the times go, if you can't find scholarly sources to cover something that unataka kucover, kama hujapata journal articles ama books, go for these websites. If hujapata hizi hapa hii imeishia na org ama edu, make sure that yenye umepata at least iko na title, you can see the year that it was published, and you can get other information, other details like the author and tuseme tu the author, the year that it was published, and the title. If you can get those details, you can use that one. Make sure that unatumia easy in the condition that hujapata journal article ama book lenye inaongelelea about ile kitu ina search. So in this case, for introduction tutatumia hii article. The other one, ile ile tulikuwa tuna search, is the size of the company. So for size of the company, Google size of Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So size of the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Ukiangalia pia hata tukiweka PDF hapa, ni vigumu sana kupata the journal articles. Ni vigumu sana. So zenye tutapata hapa ni annual reports. Annual reports are not scholarly. They are also not scholarly. Bank of Australia benefits. So just go for, you still go for non-scholarly in this case. Nice open E. So that's the source that I will use and the size of the company. Kutoka hapo tulikuwa tunaangalia about the what? Geographical location, core product, and the industry. So under geographical location, location of Commonwealth Bank of Australia, ni vigumu sana kupata journal articles or books. So that non-scholarly sources. We'll use websites in this case. Websites and what you call the gray literature. That's where we are going to be. In this case, angalia the location of the company. Then the location of the company. Scholarly sources for use in this case. So that's why we use non-scholarly. So this talks about the industry the company operates. So industry, the core product. Here there's actually core product. Core product or services. Use this one. There's also that we use for that. So in conclusion, as we said yesterday, we don't cite anything for conclusion. Conclusion, sasa una provide a concluding sasa sentence based on what you have written. It's just like a summary of what you have already written. So we don't cite anything or conclusion. So sasa utakuja hapa uanzie your writing hapa kwa introduction. You have your plan. Unajua you're supposed to, the word count for that section should range between 30 to 50. So hapa in this case, I will talk about the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. I'm just introducing now. And then the last sentence of the introduction, in every essay or project that utaandika, make sure that the last sentence is pale. Umeongea about the purpose of your assignment, the purpose of the paper you are writing. So hapa, for example, I write about the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, and then nitasite sasa our first source hapa ilipata, this one. Ni kama mtani mute, niache kusikia ni kama niko peke yangu bana.
Pamoja.
Tuko.
Unajua hapo mtu anaongea tu unajisikia ni kama uko peke yako.
Nasikiza kwa makini.
Juu saa hii nimejipata sijashare the word document. Bado mnasema niko na nini? Mlikuwa mnaona wapi? Na sijashare. Okay. So this is the source that we are using in introduction. Kuandika introduction. So imesema Commonwealth Bank of Australia was founded in 1911 as the Australian bank, listed on the Australian Stock Exchange and fully privatized in 1996. Is one of the big four Australian banks and the largest Australian listed company on the Australian Securities Exchange as of the August of 2015. The bank has brands including Bankwest, Colonial First Investment, and all this. Now you have this information. You can't read everything. You can't summarize each paragraph yote because it will exceed 50 words that we have for the introduction section. So you go for the most important details. For example, hapa inaongelea about the brands that the company has, and then it inaongelea about the year that it was founded, and then who founded it. It is one of the big four companies in Australia. So in my case, sasa hapa, wacha nilete hii hapa. Kuna watu hufanya hivi. And paste it. Mnanisikia sasa?
Tunasikia vizuri sana.
Okay. Hii nasema it is default. Nani yangu ni default. So kuna watu huwa wana copy paste then they paraphrase chini yake. Kuna wengine wana reduce size ya the word document then wanaiweka chini ya mahali wana paraphrase. So in this case sasa I'll paraphrase this and it should be between 30 and 50 words. So nimesema hapa go for the most important details. Don't read everything because for example ukiangalia ile detail information umepata hapa yote ni 77 words and you only need that to 50. So if ingekuwa ni mimi, I will talk about the year that the company was founded, the founder, the year that it was listed in Australian Stock Exchange, and the year that it was privatized. And then I will talk about that it is one of the big four Australian banks. And pia ningeongelea about the brands that company has. And then kama sitakuwa nimemaliza, sasa the last sentence, as I've already said, una talk about the purpose of the paper. So in this case, nitasema Commonwealth Bank of Australia abbreviated as Combank. Sasa hapa ndo sasa tutaangalia Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Hapo unaweza kufuatanisha words. because there's no way you can reframe that. That's the name. For abstracts, you don't, for names, what we call nouns, generally nouns, kuna zile vitu huwezi paraphrase, you can't change the order of the words. Like for example, we can't change the order of Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So Commonwealth Bank of Australia, words ikifuatana, you won't be affected by plagiarism. So Commonwealth Bank of Australia, abbreviated as Combank, was founded by the hapo nitakuwa nimefananisha, was founded by the government of Australia in the year 2011. It is listed, unaweza anzia in the year 1991, it was listed in the countries exchange. 5 years ago. So in short, summarize that this, paraphrase this one, taking the main details and ensure that ile kitu utaandika it does not exceed 30 to 50 words. Then your last sentence, ukisha paraphrase pale, your last sentence unaongea about the purpose of the paper. So hapo utasema this paper, the last sentence now of introduction, this paper describes the size of the company, its geographical location, core product, and the industry in which it operates. Now, which is introduction. After umemaliza kuparaphrase, make sure you cite. Sasa hapa mwisho, mimi ndo sasa hapa utakuja provide the in-text citation ya ile source umetumia. In this case, ile source tumetumia, kuna kitu pia nataka muone hapa, how to cite a web page. Let me share it. For example, in this case, this is the title in 2016, and this is the link to the article. Ukiangalia hapa, auoni the author, but unaweza ona hapa kwa ownership, Australian Securities Exchange. That is the owner. Kama utaona owner of the paper, utaona the author. So kwa reference, author wangu atakuwa Australian Securities Exchange, published in 2016. Then this is our title, and then it was published in 2016. So this is how you write the reference. Wacha nianzie hapo. Australian Securities Exchange. The year is 2020. AFAD, because you said AFAD is the default format that we use. Our title is Commonwealth Bank of Australia. That's the title. Because I cannot share the two screens, allow me to first of all frame it, and then I'll change the screen that Commonwealth Bank of Australia, then receipt from hapo unaweka the link the 3rd of August. italicize. Sijui nimeshia gani. Nirudi hapa. That's how you write the reference of a web source. Unaanzia na the author. What's happening? Some happening. Arsenal is trying to use the whiteboard. Sasa kwa reference, when you are referencing, you are writing a reference for a web source. Tuseme blog kitu umepata kwa web, which is not scholarly, sio journal article, sio book, ni web article. You start with the author. Kama uone author, just try to check the ownership. Then you start with the author, the same way you did nilionyesha kuandika reference yesterday. Kama uko na author utatumia hiyo njia. You start with the second name, comma, initial, comma, the year, full stop, you write the title. But in this case, you don't have the name of it's not a journal in this case. So you have to provide the link, mahali. Sasa for example, lecturer akisaisha, atahitaji kuclick hii link, impeleke exactly mahali kuna hiyo article. Then you have to provide details on the date. Ile siku sasa get that source. So in this case, you have retrieved it from this source on 3rd of August 2022. So hapa kwa citation tutaandika Australia Securities Exchange 2022. That's how you cite a web source. Kama sio journal article, sio book, this is how you do. Make sure you provide the link. And for some institutions, you are required to provide the exact time. So hapo ndo utakuja kwa brackets hapo provide time. But for us, if you cite it this way, itakuwa fit. Make sure that you provide the author, the year, the title. In this case, we italicize the title. Our title is Commonwealth Bank, Australia. Then you provide the link. Then you take the manyana mark to the place mahali umepata the source, and then the exact date then umepata hiyo article. You do the same. Zile sources tumepata pale. You write about the sites. Unakuja unaenda kwa geographical location. You go for product. You do the same for industry. Then you write conclusion. Conclusion is like a summary of what you have done. These papers are this, and this. It has been found that this, and this. The company has this number of outlets. It is located in its core products, and then it operates in this country. Just a concluding a paragraph, which is a summary of what you have written. Hiyo ndio inakuanga conclusion. Ukishamaliza, kuna vitu tunaziitanga cover page. Ukiendelea kama paper ni kubwa, I think hiyo tutaangalia kesho. Huwa tunaandika vitu zingine zinaitwa executive summary na una provide kitu inaitwa table of contents. Your table of contents should be automatic. Isikuwe ni ile ya kuandika na unaandika page number pale mbele. It should be automatic. So kesho tukimalizia, nataka tuangalie kuweka hiyo automatic table of contents, kuandika abstract or the table of contents, na pia kuandika reflection na PPTs. Tutaangalia haraka kesho ndio tumalizane na hii maneno. So for today nataka ni cover ile inaitwa cover, nionyeshe how we frame the cover page. So assume this is our paper na tumemalizana nayo. Kitu ya kwanza unafaa ujue references should be in their own page. So references haziwezi kuwa in the same page na content. So what you do, una click hapa, then unaenda kwa layout, unaziweka kwa page yake, next page. So every time hata ukiongeza content pale juu utapata references kwa page yake. Ile kitu ingine, kuna page inafaa ikuwe juu ya content yako, what you call now the cover page or the title page. So utakuja uweke break ingine hapa to the next page such that umebaki na a blank first page. Hapo ndo una provide the title of your work, the name of the student, and the student ID, and pia una provide details on the word count ile umeandika. So for example, in this case itakuja niandike, we were talking about we were describing the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Then hapa utaacha student andike name, student's name, student ID, then the word count. Word count, sasa you are right from introduction to conclusion. Word count excludes whatever that is in the cover page and what comes after references. So ukitaka kuangalia the word count of what you have done, una highlight from introduction to the conclusion. So in this case, for example, tulikuwa tumeifanya vizuri, you would highlight right from here add it to the last sentence of conclusion. Then utaangalia your word count hapa hivi 75 of 101. 101 is the total, which includes the references and the content that is in the cover page. So what you are looking for is the word count, the exact word count of what you have done. It should be from introduction to conclusion. Hata kama umeandika abstract kama executive summary, that's not included in the total word count. What comes after references, or from references downwards, references, appendices. If you are doing a research na uko na other content yenye inakuja kutoka references kwenda chini, that one is not included as well. So the word count huwa tunaangalia from introduction to conclusion. So hiyo ndio huo unaiandika hapa. Hiyo sasa ndio huo unaiandika hapa hivi. The word count. Ile kitu kingine nilikuwa nataka kuongelea kuhusu ni, for example, kama umepewa 1000 words, you don't write exactly 1000 words. Kuna ile tunaitanga plus or minus 10%. For example, kama ni 1000 words, ulikuwa unaandika 10% of 1000 is 100. So you can exceed by 100. Hapa kwetu you cannot rate less 100. You cannot rate 900. So ile tunaangalianga ni plus. So it should be unafika 100 to 1100. That's why you should rate. So atuangaliangi less, that is minus 10%. You go for plus 10%. So don't rate less 100 words. Then uanze kusema you have applied the 10% rule. The 10% rule hapa kwetu ina apply on side ya juu. So you can rate 1000 to 1100. For example, in this case, we are rating 400 words. We are rating 400 words. Kama ni 400 words, you can exceed by 40. So it will be from 400 to 440. That word, that range is allowed. Then after that, ile kitu kingine unafanya is now unaweka page numbers. Page numbers, most of the times, huwa nasema unaweza format your work in a way that the first page does not count, because this is the cover page. So ile kitu huwa tunafanya, huwa tunaweka page number, huwa tunaiweka hapa juu top. Ukienda kwa page number, select top, then uende hii ya 3, number 3. Then juu hatutaki ianzie na 1. Hapa nataka upate hii page, it's not counted. Unakuja hapa unaiformat. Just kama hapa kwa page number, then you format in a way that inaanzia na 0, such that it starts with 0 hapa. Ikianzia na 0, hapa unaweka different first page. Utapata sasa your first page, it is not numbered. Number inakuja hapa kutoka hapa from 1. Mahali content yetu inaanzia, that's where we have page 1. That's how we do. So make sure umenumber, uko na cover page, then word count yako iangalie from introduction to conclusion, then make sure that references zinakuja ziko kwa page yake. Hizi zinaitwa page breaks hizi hapa kwa layout. Then unakuja kwa hizo breaks, unaweka references, una ensure ziko kwa page yake, then the cover page iko kwa page yake. Hii inafaa ianze kwa a new page. So that's what you do. Ukishamaliza what you do, ukishamaliza kazi yako sasa, you have cited, you have referenced, umeweka cover page, umeweka page numbers. What you do next, unafaa uweke font. Kuna ile font tunatumianga hapa specific and the spacing. So ukishamaliza kuja uhighlight kazi yako yote. Then uende home. Hii unaweka Times New Roman unless stated otherwise. Then unatumia hapa, tunatumia 12 and then spacing tunatumianga 2 unless told otherwise, because for some assignments utapata umeambiwa tumia this font, use this and this. So that's how you're supposed to do it. Ukishamaliza, make sure that depending on ile device unatumia, kama ni desktop hizo, make sure una save your work. Ukifanya kazi kidogo unaenda pale juu una save. So after that, save as, we use codes. Kazi zetu zote ziko na codes. For example, utapata code ya hii, for example, ilikuwa John 3. So unafaa uanze na John, you start with the code John 3, then unaweka the number of words, you are 400 words, then initial, kama wewe ni writer for example, kama ni Jackson, kila mtu anajua ile entity yake tunatumianga. So that's all you're supposed to save it. You start with the code, number of words, and then you are ended there. That's how we save it. Then make sure to get hapa kwa info, you cannot identify you by your name. For example, that's why nimeambia most of my writers to ensure that they have not signed it, or the name of their laptop, kama ni HP, ikuwe ni user, make sure that your name does not appear here, because for some clients they will submit the work directly. If they submit directly and then your work kazi ilikuwa your laptop inaleta jina hapa kwa author, then hiyo itamtia kwa mashaka. So what you do, make sure that laptop yako you have not sent in there, isilete jina yako, or kama umesign in, make sure that ile jina inakuja kwa author is the name of the laptop. Inaweza kuwa HP, Esa, hivyo in a way that hapa hakuna jina yako inakuja hapa. Kama kulikuwa na jina yako, unaweza kuja click hapa, you remove the password. Client akienda huko click save, jina yake itaingia automatically hapo kwa author. Sorry, click save as, jina yake itaingia automatically. So for example, kama laptop yako inajiita na jina yako, because most of the clients that work for, unapata client lecturer tu anajua huyu mtu hawezi kuwa associated na huyu, because for example we work for Hindus au nika John, akishapata hiyo kazi atajua there will be issues like you're not the one who did this work. So to avoid that, make sure that umeenda pale uka remove the name of the author, ama ensure laptop yako imetumia hizi jina general in a way that lecturer akiona anaweza jua for example hii ni jina ya one of the devices that the student used. So after doing that, after you have saved, umefanya kila kitu, the next thing, you una delete hizi, you format hizi, unaweka in bold zote the headings. Then ile kitu unafanya after that, you proofread your work. Una proofread kazi yako right from introduction to conclusion. After ume proofread, huwa tunaipitisha mahali kunaitwa Grammarly. Si lazima ikuwe premium. Just go there, create your own account. Don't go for the premium version. Uko unaweka kazi yako hapo mwenyewe. Don't share your logins with any other person, because we have had issues whereby paper imeibiwa. Unapata ishauzwa mahali. So make sure you have your logins. Unaweka paper pale, unaipitisha kwa Grammarly. I think everyone here anaweza tumia Grammarly. You just upload your paper, then itakuonyesha zile words zinaweza kuwa na issues, una rectify. Ukishamaliza the final stage before you send me the paper, unaipitisha kwa Canteen logins per month zinatoka 200 bob. Unaweza angalia friend wako mwenye unajua hawezi kuibia paper, you share that. Mtu atoe so you buy logins za Canteen. So ukitoa kwa Grammarly, pitisha Canteen inaangalia plagiarism. Make sure that before you send me the paper, angalia, make sure that you include references. Inaangalia kila kitu, usi exclude references. So ile pepe utanitumia references ku imezidi 20% kama include references. Make sure that ile plug percent ni less than 20%. Kama iko less than 20%, unanitumia pepe yako. So that's what we do. Ukifuata hiyo procedure, there's no way that your paper inaweza fail. Na issues of paper unarudishiwa sijui nini zitakuwa very minimal. Ama inawi that utazi avoid, because I have a good number of readers mwenye hata arudishiangu revision na manager. Na huyo jamaa au still like tuseme ni wengi wenye nilianza na wao like 2019. Huyo mtu ni vigumu sana kurudishiwa paper. So inafikanga mahali unapata niko na trust na huyo mtu. Kazi yake ikuja ni kutupa. So ukianza kufuata hizo methods, ukianza kufuata ile procedure nimewaonyesha, you read your work, napitisha grammar, napitisha tanti, unaangalia kila kitu kwa sawa, then you send. Hakuna time itarudishwa ianze kukuharibia time ukirevise. And cite everything that you have borrowed. Cite it ile design nimekuonyesha, use it hard, use of end ile ya nini symbol na the real hand. Make sure that unazitumia vizuri. If you do all that, itakuwa ngumu kwa paper kufail. So that's for today. Kesho nataka tumalizie in just 1 hour. Nitawafunza venye mtu anaandikanga slide na venye anaandikanga script. Then nitawaonyesha venye mtu anaandikanga reflection. Then executive summary ama abstract venye mtu anaandikanga. Then kutoka hapo, I think sasa you guys will be able to start working for us. So sijui kama kuna mtu akona swali sasa. Tunaweza malizia hapo. Tulikuwa na class nyingine ya kuandika dissertations. So fika hapo for today.
Yes.
Naona kila mtu amemute except kaza yako.
Yeah.
Kesho wenye wataje kutaangalia kuandika exactly summary. And that will be it. Tutakuwa tumemaliza.
Okay.
Yeah, wacha tumalizie kesho tu in 1 hour. That's why I don't want to take time mingi because most of you are na kazi. Sasa enda ufanye kazi following whatever that you have said. And I'm sure you will improve a lot. Na issues za revisions zitaisha. So tuonane kesho saa 2 tumalizie. Itakuwa kumalizia sasa. Only those 3 things that nitaonyesha kuandika slide, venye unaandika bullets, venye unaandika script. Because hapa kwetu lazima kama ya kupresent lazima uandike script. Script ni ile kitu mwenye unaandikia ataenda kucram aseme for each slide. That's what we call a script. You pay for it. You don't have, it is not done for free. So nitawafunza kuandika slide, unaweka hizo bullets and then the script. Then niwafunze kutumia models ukiandika kitu inaitwa reflections, because most of the time utapata job nyingi ziko na reflection. You are taught after writing your assignments, write a reflection down there. How do you write it? Kuna watu wanaiandikanga tu informal. Hapana tu ni kile kitu tu imekuja kwa akili anaandika. We have basic models that I use like the Gibbs reflection model. I'll touch on that. Then after that niwaonyeshe how mtu anafaa andike what you call the abstract. Kutoka hapo tutakuwa tunamalizana na ile inaitwa basic knowledge ya writing. Writing is a broad field ni kubwa. With the time ukiandika sasa zile vitu zingine utaenda ukizilana. So sikufiki hapo for today. I want to stop recording.